Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
This music has been something that I specifically wanted, raw, unedited, unfiltered lyrics that would be in their face, that would be unapologetic, that would show I'm not perfect and that no one else is called to be perfect and that it's okay if you're not okay. I'm not inspired by those that are perfect, by those that are filtered, by those that seem to have it all together. I'm inspired by the ones that show their true self. Every write was in this room, and it was started with a conversation. And so we found ourselves pulling these conversations together, finding a deep, deep story and making it something that can appeal to everyone, making it something that can resonate with you. So I grew up in a really small town in the northeastern part of Oklahoma. It's a place where I have discovered who I am and also who I'm not. Sometimes it's important to learn who we're not, and that kind of guides us into finding ourselves. But I grew up very differently from those around me. I was not a cowboy, wasn't a ranch hand, wasn't a jock, and I really had to ask myself, who is Austin? Who do I want to be? My mom was on her own, raising us, and that really created this tension. And part of that tension was really finding myself outside of my father's identity. I felt alone for a long season in my life. And when I began to see that so many people didn't have a mom or didn't have a dad, this really inspired me, hey, I'm not alone. There's other people dealing with this. I think it's cool to see the impact of that, something that was so hard, how God has shifted that into a positive thing. I started singing when I was 6 in church. It's just funny, reflecting on my life, seeing how much that impacted me. Fast forward to 14, 15 years old, I realized that music was something that I wanted to do. I met my producer, Sam, around February, and we were in the studio in this room working in March. Sam quickly made a couple beats and was playing piano and just a few other sounds that I could have to start really finding those melodies that I wanted. We've been very intentional with how we've created this music and finding my sound. I'm just inspired by 90s R&B, I'm inspired by gospel music, being raised in church, like Alan Stone, John Legend, even Chris Stapleton. And then we've just taken R&B instrumentals from Jennifer Hudson songs or John Legend songs or Maxwell, Leon Bridges. And so we're somewhere in between of pop and R&B and soul. Writing music and being around other musicians, it's so beautiful to see how other people differ from you, how other people believe differently, how they sound different. Embracing those around you that are different than you will create something inside of you that you've never felt before. So I want my listeners through my music to really find a place where they can connect with other people in spite of their differences. I want to use my platform to help those around me in my community. I want to do so much more than just create a song. I want to use those things that I've experienced to inspire those that listen to my music.